Hello and welcome to a new episode of the B2B E-Commerce Integrated podcast. My name is Arno. I'm the Chief Product Officer at Sana Commerce, and with Sana Commerce, we believe that by using ERP integration, B2B companies are more successful than B2B companies that are using mainstream e-commerce solutions. So you do not have to replicate the data and logic around complex pricing, stock, orders and quotes into multiple systems, and there is no need to maintain that data and logic in the various systems, and more importantly, less prone to error by making ERP and commerce work as one. This results in better relationships with your buyers and more commercial success. So in this podcast, I'm interviewing the most important people in B2B e-commerce, our IT folks. And before we jump into the interview, if you have enjoyed listening, please leave a review or rating so you will help your peers to find this content better and easier. So today I have with me Marco from hollu.com. Welcome, Marco.
Hi, Arno. Thanks for having me.
Yes, it's great to have you in this podcast episode. We have spoken already before, but for the listeners and viewers, maybe a small introduction for yourself. So, where are you coming from and what are you doing at hollu.com?
Yeah, thank you. As you probably know, I'm from Austria, located in Zirl in Tyrol. So, and I'm here at hollu for about 9 years now, and I'm responsible for IT. And in my professional career, I went through commercial school, followed by IT college, and I also made a study of business management. And yeah, here I am.
Exactly, yeah. So Austria, Tyrol, actually, I'm from the Netherlands, and we the Dutch people really like to go on winter sports or ski vacation in Austria, right? So just to check in, is the first snow already falling, or is it too early for the season?
You have to go really high to see some snow, but
not yet.
It's coming, that's for sure.
Okay. Yeah, actually, I also visited this summer in the summer holiday, first time in Austria in the summertime, which was also very beautiful. So I can definitely recommend that as well to our listeners and viewers. Very beautiful to enjoy the mountains when everything is very green instead of white. Yeah. So awesome to live in the mountains, right? So let's focus a little bit more on hollu.com. So what are you? What's the company doing?
We are a family-owned business which exists since 1905. So you see, it's a long time.
Wow.
And we are a manufacturer, basically a manufacturer of cleaning and hygiene products. And with our products and services, we help to keep our customers safe and healthy. So we are a manufacturer, but we are also a supplier of products. We are consultants for our customers. So if they have questions regarding the cleaning process, how they can keep the company clean and safe, they can ask us. They can ask our specialists. We also have technicians. So we provide also machines.
Okay.
For example, cleaning machine, dosage machines. And we also do the maintenance for them. On top of that, we also have Hollu Academy, it's called. So we also are in the education of our customers. So you can book courses with us and get a degree in cleaning for facility management, for example.
Yeah.
And altogether, we are also offering or providing a software called Noah. And in that software, our customers can manage the whole cleaning process or all the processes they have in their facilities.
Awesome. Yeah, you do not hear that often, that a producing company or manufacturing companies building software as well. So that is great to hear. And I also loved a couple of aspects already from your introduction, is that typical B2B company, and it's also a lot about knowledge, right? It's a complex organization, complex product probably. Some complex problems you're solving for our customers and for your customers. And that is also something we're going to talk about today. So I think 450 people, right, in total? So that's a
exactly.
reasonable size company. Yeah, we would say it's a mid-sized company. I'm not sure that's always in the terminology, right? But definitely not a small company. And looking at IT, I believe you can explain it a little bit as well, right? How does IT work, or how does your team look like, your IT landscape? Maybe elaborate a little bit on that.
Yeah, thank you. As you said, we have about 450 employees now. We are, with our Austria business, we have 8 locations. We also have subsidiaries in Switzerland and Italy. And we also have a sister company called Well and Life, which is also in Austria. It's in the same building, but it's another company. And in the last time, we got to an IT relevance, we call it, of our employees, which is 100%. So not everyone has a gadget, not everyone has a laptop or a smartphone or something like that, but at least everyone has a login to a system of ours. So, and to manage all this, we are now 10 people in IT. And we divided IT into 3 segments, you could say, or 3 groups. At first, we have IT services. My guys, my people here, they make sure that on offboarding is okay, that everyone has the right device, that all the software is up to date, and they do the help desk. They do really on the front and keep things running. Then we have IT infrastructure, typical infrastructure things like server management, security, network, also cloud and on-premise. So we are in a hybrid scenario. And on top of that, or the third aspect of our IT is business IT, we call it. And my colleagues here, they make sure that our ERP system is running. We do a lot of customizing, a lot of programming in the ERP system. We have our product information management here, and we also have the web shop here. So these guys make sure that all software, business-related software for us, is running and is developed further.
Understood. So you're running Microsoft Dynamics, right? Which ERP are you using?
Yeah, exactly. At the center of our IT map or IT strategy, application-wise, it's Microsoft Dynamics. And every software that gets into our ecosystem is challenged by the possibilities of integration or the easy integration to Microsoft Dynamics.
Yeah. And you're for the EP side of things, you're using AX, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And that's not in the cloud yet, right? That is for later.
No, it's on premise. We are now in a actual project is Microsoft Dynamics CRM.
Yeah.
So sales, which is in the cloud. So
it's first
hybrid,
step.
But that's our strategy, and so we will do it as long as it's good for us.
Yeah, no, understood. Hey, and so it seems like hollu has a unique offering with all those cleaning supplies. That's why probably, also what you mentioned, quite some complexity in the IT infrastructure. Yeah, you're needing to customize the ERP to make it fit for your business, and the other systems needs to integrate with that as well. But just one step back, a typical hollu customer, let's say so. What is it? So where are you selling to?
We are in the B2B business, and we have 5 divisions, which we're selling. Which the biggest one is how do you say?
Hospitality, I think, right? Yeah, gastronomy.
Hospitality, hotels. That's the biggest part of us, but we also have hospitals. We have commercial customers, and so on. So we try to diversify also our customers not to be too much reliant on one segment.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
in Austria, or in the Tyrol, it's a little bit more difficult because we depend a lot on tourism and hospitality.
Yeah. No, yeah, I understand. And because that is also what I explained, maybe people that do not know Austria that much, especially maybe when you're from the US or so, that it's in the Alps, and a lot of what I mentioned myself, a lot of winter sport activities or summer sport actually as well. So there are a lot of hotels there, a lot of restaurants, a lot of hospitality places. And they need to be cleaned regularly and in a very good quality. So I can imagine that you have quite a customer base there. And unfortunately, if you break your leg or something, you also end up in the hospital there. So, but that is also what you always want to prevent, right? While skiing. But okay, so B2B in general, the complex requirements. Let's focus on that first. So, what makes it makes it complex? Let's say so.
The complexity, I believe, is in our business that we have a lot of different customers, so they always expect full service.
Yep.
We have a lot of special agreements with our customers, and we have a lot of products. So in that three aspects joined together makes it a little bit more complex than some people would imagine.
Yeah. So you mean agreements in terms of pricing, or also stock, or a combination of these things?
A combination, basically pricing. Yeah. So we have a lot of special agreements with customers. We have a lot of portals where we have other prices and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes it a little bit more complex, and it's really, you have to know our customers. We have a direct sales team, which is really big, and these sales representatives, they know their customers, and our customers, especially in the hospitality segment, in the tourism, they expect that. Yeah. They expect that you know what they are doing, what they need, and to put that into systems isn't that easy all the time.
I understand. Yeah, maybe also to clarify a bit, I think we call that first generation e-commerce. You're coming from a world that you didn't have e-commerce before, right, Mark?
Mm-hmm.
So
exactly.
And now it's a combination of both, obviously. So let's dive into that a little bit deeper. So because I think there is also the interesting factor and brings the complexity together, because you're mentioning it coming from a direct sales world. We see that with a lot of customers, right, that we are servicing, and especially with the first generation e-commerce. And then they are visiting these customers on a regular basis, right? They are having a car, driving to all those. Let's take the hotels, drive to every hotel, maybe a couple of per day, showing the new products, show what they need or what they not need, what's working well, etc. Right? I can imagine something like that, but with a lot of technical and on the topic expertise. Then, of course, all the pricing and stock and what to use when. From and actually the transformation from going direct to online, right, or a hybrid model there. So we were talking about the fact that currently you had a direct, let's say, sales force in a car driving through all those hotels or other customers of you, get as personal experience. And about, what products to use, when to use, how much do I still have in stock, for what price can I get it, is there an offer, can I give you help, etc., etc. Can I teach or can I learn, or do I need to learn something? And bringing that, let's say, personal or experience online with all the aspects is the challenge, right? And it's often underestimated if you're going to do online B2B e-commerce. And that is also always something I try to warn or advise our customers, especially first timers, when they start saying, it's not just a separate thing, B2B e-commerce, if you start it, it's the thing, right? It's if you're moving there, B2B e-commerce will be your, the majority at some point in time of the how you run the business actually. And yet you run then into troubles into, let's say, how to traditional mechanisms, discounting, explaining, education, pricing, to automate it or to digitalize that. That's the challenge. And you're in there, we're helping there, and we of course will explain how that is going. But you are now having the first customers logging in, right? So and I think around 2,000, is that correct?
Yeah.
So that's the first and big part, and they and maybe as an interesting question, although it's maybe more sales or commercially related, but still I'm interested in it. Is how
I just looked it up. Sorry, Arno. I just looked it up. We have about 6,000 accounts.
Okay.
But that's not one-to-one customers.
Okay.
So we have about,
maybe even more
6,000 accounts. Yeah.
So actually, you're logging into Sana when we're talking about that. Okay, that's fun. No,
I have it on my notes here.
Okay. Also good. So with the direct sales, maybe it's a commercial question, but how do you make that change? How did you motivate them? Because they say, I want to go to the customer. Maybe I want to, still do business with them. I do not want that my business is being stolen away from a digital platform. What was the reason actually for you guys to start using an online platform, and how did you bring the business in this journey?
There was no question about this. We had to have an online shop, a web shop. So our customers demanded this.
Yeah.
So you always have to keep in mind the decision makers also in our environment are getting younger. So they all expect possibilities of an online shop.
Yeah.
And so there was no question about this. But it was a process, and it is still a process to get this web shop possibilities via our direct sales team to our customers. So there was a lot of explaining, a lot of communication to propose the web shop that this is the right thing, and that it doesn't take away any business of a sales representative, but it helps him. So also our sales representatives, they are going through a transformation, you could say, from really typing in orders to consulting. So
exactly.
If the customers could or can place their orders by themselves, no sales representative will have to do it, and he has time to consult the customers and look what he's really needing.
Exactly, spend more valuable time. We often call this, right? So that is, I think, one of the bigger benefits of making this step. And it's not a question if you need to start because your customers already say, no, we need it. So you're really fulfilling that need because the generation shifts, but also probably how they you used to order, right? I think they are before they were expecting that a salesperson was coming by every week or every month. Then do the ordering on paper. But now, such a person is just responsible at a hotel or something, maybe from a younger generation. They're just on the couch with their mobile phone, placing the order for the next day, right? Something like that. That's the change.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Now, interesting. And that is all, let's say, this change from the old world to the new world. You digitalize that. And that's also, I think, pretty well represented on if you go to hollu.com, right? Because you see all the aspects that you're mentioning, you're seeing it there, right? Because if you look at the site, of course, the product information is there. I think you guys do a pretty good job in having informative, nice-looking product content. You also have the academy there, so that you can learn and educate not only in product content but also how to use it and learn everything about hygiene and cleaning and so on. And of course, you can order from there. So let's focus on these areas. So first is the product part. So why is it so important to have such a good product content on your B2B web store? I would like to hear it from you.
Yeah. We have about 2,500 products.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there are a lot of products for nearly the same aspect.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to present them to our customers, and you also have to give them the information, what you can do with the product, how it looks, what's inside, what's the safety aspects of the product. So in our business, it's really important to give all these informations, dimensions, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
And you all have to do this on one page or on one set in your web shop. So this is really important for us, but also for our customers. So they also demand this, that they have this information here
in one overview, so that they can make the right choices, right, when doing product selection. Yeah, I understood. Very clear. Hey, yeah, and 2,500 is quite a amount of products. We have also customers that have many, many more, but I think in the amount you're having, and also I think it's really different products with different descriptions and different aspects of it. So that's still quite a set. We are seeing with Sana a lot. We have customers that are only selling one product. That is very important for them, obviously. We have customers that are having 1 million products or something in there, and sometimes even more than that. I think, recently or last week, I was in a call with a customer that wants to sell 40 million different SKUs, so different products. Okay. But that's mostly they are not all keeping that in stock, obviously, but they have just different suppliers and so on and so on. So the platform itself is scalable, but actually looking really at the data, the average, especially manufacturing company, is around this 3,000 products that they are having online at least. So you're, I would say, pretty average. So that's cool.
Yeah.
But still maintaining these products on this quality that you are doing. I think you are also using a PIM system, right? You mentioned that in your introduction. So can you elaborate a little bit on that, why you are having it and what it's solving for you, and how is actually the relation with the ERP and e-commerce?
So that's right. We're using product information management, which is Perfion. I think I can say that.
Yeah, sure.
And we implemented Perfion 2 years before our web shop, because we wanted to have one source where we can have all the information we need regarding products, not just in the ERP. So we were thinking a lot about that. Okay, could we do this all in the ERP system? And we decided no, it's not possible. It's not good for our future. So we have our ERP system, and on top of that, we have, or beside that, we are using product information management to enrich our products with information we need, for example, for the web shop.
So what are you storing in the PIM, and what are you storing in the ERP?
So ERP is our basis data.
Yeah.
So we are storing there our names, our really basic data like units, prices, stuff like that. But all the descriptions which come from our product management, all the marketing information is stored in our PIM system.
Yeah.
Also images, stuff like that is stored in our PIM.
The taxonomy as well. So let's say how the products are being ordered, or the navigation structure.
It's also stored in. You cannot say this exactly, because part of the information is in our ERP system.
Yeah.
And some like sorting mechanisms we doing in the PIM system.
Okay.
So we have a combination of these two systems, and we are always checking, okay, where do we need the information? So if it's ERP relevant, we store it there. If it's not a big issue, but all that's not ERP relevant, we do in the PIM.
Of course. Oh, nice. Yeah, and I think Perfion is one of the partners we are working together with. Is a beautiful solution, especially if you're also on the Dynamics stack. I think it works. It integrates with that as well. out of the box. So let's say that the basic data is automatically inside Perfion. You can enrich it from there, whatever you want, whatever kind of structure you need, and then send it over to Sana. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So then we have, let's say, the academy part. I think that is mostly about educational content, or let's say sharing online what is available, what you can learn, and so on, right? So you have a lot of content shared there.
Yeah. So for our education, we also have another platform. So it's an online educational platform.
Yeah.
In our PIM, we are storing, what courses are we offering and when will they be available?
Yeah.
So also our HR department has access to this data. So
exactly. Okay.
Working.
Hey, and then last part is, of course, the whole ordering and transactional part. So that involves pricing, stock levels, but also actually pricing the transaction or the order itself. Recently, I learned it's called the buying activities. From one of the analysts shared that information with me. So I think the buying activities is how you can group these kind of things. And pricing, I think, was an important topic, right? You mentioned like different terms. I'm not sure if you have actually customizations around it in AX as well, but can you explain or elaborate the importance of having actually this integration? Because I believe all this information is in your AX environment and it needs to be brought online, right?
Yeah, right. That was the most asked question in our process of searching an online platform or web shop. We always wanted to have a system that is standard integrated into our ERP system. So, as I mentioned at the beginning of our call or online meeting, AX is in the center of our software environment, of our application, and then we searched for a system that fits into this. So we didn't want to have a system in which we would have to rebuild systems that are already working, or to transfer data to a system if I already have it. So first goal was always to keep our process as we have them, because they are working. We have the data we need. We need a way to get access to this data through a web shop. And it's the most important thing for me as IT leader, to not build parallel systems and parallel worlds for the same processes.
Yeah, and why actually? Because I can understand you do not want it, but what are reasons behind that?
I think it's really time consuming. You could have a lot of errors, and you have to do a lot of programming, customizing, and you have to manage it all the time. So that's
waste of time.
In my opinion, it's a waste of time.
Yeah. No, I understand. And that is often forgotten, right? So we did some investigation about it as well. Not asking Sana customers, but just let's say IT managers or IT leaders all around the world, and they were sharing the same. Let's say, and also they first of all, that's why actually we are having this podcast as one of the reasons, is that first of all, starting with B2B e-commerce or not understanding why their B2B e-commerce is not working is, first of all, is that they do not embrace or understand the fact that B2B e-commerce is complex, and that you need to, and if you want to do B2B e-commerce in a good way, you need to have, let's say, real-time pricing, real-time stock, real-time transactions. There's not only us talking about that are, competitors are doing it as well. Same story about analysts. I think everybody in the industry agrees that. So, but they need to understand. And some of solutions that are maybe more optimized for B2C do not support these kind of scenarios. So, which is causing troubles most of the time after you are already did all the investments and went online, right? So then actually the trouble starts. So we want to actually share that message and prevent that. So that's one. And and the second part of this story is also the let's say the time-consuming part on integrations or maintaining these, right? So most of the time, also when we were interviewing during that survey, all those different IT leaders in the world, they shared, I believe 41% of the budgets allocated for new projects or new system implementations are spent on integration. So that's already a huge piece of the pie. But besides of that, you also need to maintain that. So if you made a lot of customizations and so on, you can imagine how much time and money you will still spend on maintaining these integrations. So that's why Sana was born. That's why we also are here in the world, and that's why we trying to give something or to build something that is actually solving that problem. So you do not have to look after this integration, right? It's just there. We maintain it, even if you are having, like you, a little older ERP system in comparison with the others, Ron. Because I think you're running 2012, right? AX.
That's right.
Yeah. So we are supporting that as well because we know that most of our customers, not everybody, is having the budgets or the time or the resources to move every year to a new ERP system or to be on the latest version, right? Systems of record are not evolving that often. So most of the time, every 7 years on average. But it can be much longer as well. Interesting. Pricing we have talked about, but also stock levels, because I had some interesting notes about it in a conversation we had before, is so in the beginning, you were not showing stock levels, right? You were just saying everything is available.
Yeah.
But then you changed it, if I understood correctly, to accurate stock levels. So why was that?
Yeah. Also, our customers needed it. So
that's the best reason.
And as you probably all mentioned, or all noticed, times have changed. So we're also having problems with stock levels on our side. So
like supply chain issues, so that you have
supply chain issues, exactly. So it's just for transparency, so that our customer sees, okay, it's not available.
Yes.
And 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago, that was in our world was nearly impossible.
But even now,
give this information.
It's happening.
It's happening, and it's accepted.
So part was, I think, COVID, but maybe more important, the current situations in the world with Russia and I think also energy crisis related to that. So that is giving you troubles and to keep your stock levels for certain products at a healthy level, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just for transparency, and also our customers demanded this. So.
Yeah, no, of course, because they will be frustrated. And can you imagine if you're not having real-time availability? Yeah, you're frustrating your B2B buyers because they are ordering something. They say, okay, I will probably have it next week. But if it's not accurate and you have to give the customer a call and say, yeah, sorry, we do not have it for the next month. You're damaging the relationship, right? So that's what you want to avoid.
Yeah.
And it saves also a lot of time because, if you need to call all these customers, or besides of sharing the bad news, it's also a big time-consuming thing on your in your company. Yeah. So now you have the inventory levels, and I think it's affecting pricing as well, right? Because it's not only about stock and price most of the time go hand in hand. So because how often were you changing pricing? Let's say before COVID, or let's say 2-3 years ago. How often were you changing your pricing in the ERP or?
Yeah, we do price changes in the ERP system. So 2 to 3 years ago, we made them once a year. Now we are doing them every 3 to 4 months.
Yeah, so at least 3 to 4 times more per year, and and that these pricing is automatically actually directly used in the web store. So how much work does it require for you to make that happen?
It's only work in the ERP system.
Okay.
So it's it's about how can you say, 4 hours work for us for a big price change.
Exactly.
But we don't have to do this in the web shop. We don't have to care about it. So
exactly. So that saves a lot of time, right? So how is it then in general? I want to switch the topic a little bit. Is the features in the B2B e-commerce store? So what is your most used feature, your favorite feature, and why?
For me, as an IT leader, the best feature is the standard integration. I have to re-say that every time, but it's the most important feature for me because I don't have to really care about it. So if you're going live before that, you have to adjust it. You have to do some customizations so that it works for you. But you see what's happening. You see it in the code on the ERP side. And if it's running, it's running. So you don't have to do a lot of error handling. If we have to, we look at the web shop and we see it in the logs. So I just have to make sure our ERP system is online and our web shop is online. So that's all.
Exactly.
So that's for me the most important feature.
And from the B2B buyers, you have any favorite there as well?
I'm not really the best guy to talk about that because I don't have the connection to our customers. But I have some personal feedback that I get from customers. And they say that they like our presentation, like you mentioned. So pictures, and they like how it's presented because it's presented. You can search for items, but you can also search for use cases or navigate through use cases. So if you're looking for how to clean your kitchen, you can go in our theme worlds, we call it, and you can look up products which are fitting there. And they like the basic features, the simple features like reordering, and see what did I order the last time. So
that was also interesting aspect, of course, and a lot of, let's say, platforms that are optimized for B2C do not have that functionality. And if they are optimized for B2B, then still you need to integrate a lot to, bring the offline world online and vice versa. So because that is also something that is really important for your business, as I understood correctly in the talks we had before. It's about, what did I order last time, last year, last month? And with an easy click, of course, can reorder that, do some small adjustments. But it's easier said than done, right? Because it can be a huge amount of data, and that's if we are getting that obviously from the ERP directly. But I think that is something that people also need to realize that are listening, that it is not such an easy thing, right? So to get something like that. What do you think about that? So the question is actually more, Marco. So let's say I think it was a requirement from the customers, but before actually it was, I think, hard to show this to the customers, because if a sales agent was on the road, how can you bring all that historic data with you, right? Was that difficult?
It was kind of difficult, but it was possible.
Okay.
So also our sales representatives have a system where they can put orders offline also, and they see what the customer did order. So it was possible. That was not so much the question, but the customer wanted to do that by themselves.
Exactly.
So
that's the trick.
Especially younger customers, younger leaders, they want to do it by themselves and when they want it. So if he wants to, put an order at 3 a.m. for example, he can do it now. So
maybe if you're, if you have a restaurant or a bar and you're closing at that time, and after closing you want to still stuck up the cleaning equipment that you used or that is empty, then it can be at 3 a.m. or you just awake in the night and you said, I remind something, I want to do it now. But that was actually the point I wanted to make, indeed, that that is another example of bringing the offline world online, right? So transforming that into a digital world. Okay, it was possible with the sales agent on the road, but then still this customer didn't have that overview in real time or at all. And now this is a must-have, and it's easier. And if you integrate it, it's an easy way to show that. And otherwise, I think impossible to do so. So if you need to import that data or synchronize the data, that is too much.
Possible.
Yeah, because I'm not sure how big the database is, but probably that will be pretty big if you're a company of your size and with all the transactions going on. Okay. We are running out of time already when you're having fun, right? But a couple of things I still want to touch upon, or the final part, and I think you have shared already a couple of things. But how much time? Let's say, or you mentioned, just say, I do not have to worry about this integration. I do not have to spend time on maintaining it. Normally, what would you say if this is not in place? What kind of things do you need to do to maintain integrations or to handle these kind of things if it's not supplied out of the box? Let's turn around the question. So if that was not in place, what do you need to think about, or what do you need to arrange?
You need to make sure that your interfaces are working. You have to monitor them. You have to do or set up an error handling on both sides. You have to make adjustments. So if you're changing something in the ERP system or on your price system, for example, you have to do it also on the other side. If it's not standard integrated, or if it's not collecting data live. So that makes it much more easier for us, and the outcome is the same.
Exactly. So, and that is a couple of good examples, and I think we can even mention a couple more. So let's say you also need to secure it and keep it secure. That is something you need to be aware of. Versioning of the ERPs. Now you are in a world that you are running an on-premise ERP. Of course, you will have service packs or so on, but that still needs to be supported and tested. But in the cloud world where ERPs or systems of record evolve continuously, you need to imagine if you need to, of course there are contracts and APIs, but practically it always means that you need to test something, because the devil is in the details in these kind of things, right? I've learned, at least from the past 15 years, that the even big companies like Microsoft and SAP also sometimes make a small mistake in API definitions or something, or how some functionality is working. So that requires knowledge and things. And that is also what we are solving here in the company, right? It's not only about making it work, let's say, functionally or technically, but also, keeping it safe, keeping it up to date with the latest versions, still supporting the old versions also if there are service packs, and so on and so on. I think it's a lot of work that we take out of hands for IT managers like you. And I'm happy to hear that you are enjoying that. So, awesome. I think we discovered and talked about a lot of different topics and about complexity of B2B e-commerce, how you're doing and solving things. I really love the, let's say, the way how you explained that you need to we need to evolve from, let's say, a non-digital world to a digital world, and all the challenges that you are having there. That you're now successfully being able to offer an online platform for your at least 6,000 logins that you are having now. That's, I think, the majority of your customer base that you're supplying. So that is awesome to hear. Any last things you want to share, Marco, or something I have forgotten in the interview?
I think you said the most important things. I just like to add, we are happy with our decision we made to go with Sana. The projects are working. So I mentioned in our pre-conversation that I haven't seen any of you guys ever in person. So also our project, I've never seen someone in person. I didn't believe that this was working, but it was working, obviously. And so it's a good team. We can do the things we want. We were able to do this very fast. So implementation of the web shop was very fast. That's not possible if you don't have that integration or that knowledge in our ecosystem as we have it. So I think that's good, and I'm looking forward.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hopefully we will meet in person in the coming years or months, because it were hectic times, right? COVID changed everything for us, and but it also gave opportunities. Like you before, you mentioned in our pre-talk, you mentioned I never worked with a company that I didn't, let's say, physically meet, or that was actually not Austrian, or we are a very international company. I think you have worked with people from Germany, the Netherlands, Sri Lanka, as a global team, and we proved. I'm actually proud to hear that we proved that it is able to do so. So that's maybe also a tip for other IT members. If you are really, let's say, still stuck in the mindset of saying no, it needs to be a local agency or company, and they need to sit next to me, or they need to come to the office. I think that is not the times we are having now at the moment anymore. At least the companies around me I see succeed are the ones that can also operate on a global level successfully. So, and we are doing that with you. And thank you for this episode, Marco. And let me know when the first snow starts falling in Austria, because then
I will let you know.
Then we are always getting even more excited to think about our winter sports holidays in the winter. So thank you very much, and see you next time. Bye-bye.